we're just all in shock. Port Dover, Simcoe, Norfolk County, it's a small community. Everybody knows everybody. Everybody knows everything about. And I know for a fact, I know Mike and his people going and talking to neighbors. I know my brother Jeffrey has talked to all the neighbors around here, people in the gun community, the gun clubs, and not one person has had anything negative to say about Rodger. Rodger was a talker. He loved to talk to everybody. He took interest in his customers. He would know, like if the gentleman came in and they had guns for him to look at, he knew their wives. He knew their kids. I mean, we've even adopted a few people, Karen and Colin, who are like members of our family now, who started out as gun customers. I mean, everybody loved him. I mean, sure, he could be a grumpy old man at some times, but you talk to the majority of the people that knew him, and they referred to him as a teddy bear. He was of no threat to anybody. He was somebody that a lot of people loved and looked up to for his expertise, for his knowledge in working on guns. He loved working on guns. That was his skill. He enjoyed it thoroughly. I know from even talking Maida, who spoke spoke at his his funeral, had even stated that quite often his customers would tell him that he did not charge them enough, that he undercharged them. And I know time and time again, even as a family, be like, Rodger, you know what, dude, you should be charging a little bit more like the other gunsmiths are. And he's like, you know what, I'm not doing this to get rich. I'm doing this I love it. I love doing this. I enjoy it. I love my customers, and I'm not here to get rich off of them. I just want to work with them. He most nights, if he wasn't on the phone talking with customers, he loved to Google and look up information. He always kept on top of the gun laws. And I know he had told myself, and I know he told Jeff and everybody, that it was almost like, as a gunsmith, his mission to know the laws, know the new regulations, the new things that are coming out. I think it's May 22nd. And he also stated that it was part of his job to educate his customers. Let them know what the laws were as well, because he wouldn't want anybody else, to do something that wasn't right, and he certainly would not. I mean, people would call him and ask him to work on his guns, and I know Jeffrey had told me this as well, and he could do just about anything. But from time to time, you get that one customer that calls up and says, hey, can you do this? And his response would be, yeah, I can, but I won't, because it's he led a quiet life. He was not rich. He led a meager life. He was happy living in this home with his wife and his stepdaughter. And his sons are grown and they're gone. But he was always at like family events and family Christmases. He'd YouTube at night. I mean, him and Jesse from time to time would even get together and they'd turn on music and dance in the living room. He wasn't violent. He wasn't something that we should be afraid of. That's why we're really struggling with the fact that how they could come in and just do something like this. I mean, most of the people here, if they'd been in Rodger's gun shop in the last 2 or 3 years, would even know that at one point he rescued some little chipmunks, and they were in a cage in his shop because he just rescued them. He had them there until they lived their lives out. That's the type of guy he was. He just, he was a teddy bear.